So here's Kermit Ruffins. Thanks to guys at Basin Street Records down in New Orleans for hooking me up. Kermit was playing a show and he was the headliner and he scooted after the show, but the guys down at Basin Street Records were able to hook me up, and I thank you, Kermit. You are a wonderful person and a fine talent and a guardian of the groove, the BWOZ. We went down to Macon to see the Allman Brothers play. It was the grand opening of the Big House Museum, and I was able to catch up with Greg and get him to sign this commemorative poster from that event. Thank you, Greg. I was able to talk to Greg for just a minute or two, and he listened intently to what I had to say, and it was a very euphoric moment. And we got a picture with him afterwards and everything else like that, so it was a lot of fun. Dickie, we pulled Dickie Betts off the bus at 3 o'clock in the morning after I had already helped the stagehands and the roadies load equipment into the back of the truck, and my friend at the time had to go into the bushes and hurl. We got a lot of stories here. The Gatemouth Brown stuff too is fantastic. I saw Gatemouth 3 or 4 times. Was able to score this t-shirt at one of those shows back in '91. I think we were up in Hartford or way up north a bit, and Clarence actually invited me over to his house one time when we were down in New Orleans, so that was a lot of fun. Backstage was some interviewers from Holland, believe it or not, and me and WLFR and all that stuff going on at the same time. John Mayall, Eric Bibb, and Robin Ford, and one of my buddies down here, and I were both at the show together, and we didn't know each other then. And he was good enough to give this to me, which is fantastic. I had waited around for Robin's autograph, but he scooped this all up, and he was, God bless Jeff. Big Joe and the Donna Flows. Big Joe played our wedding, among other things. Always great to see Big Joe out in Old Town in the Washington, D.C. area. If you're in that area, go see Big Joe and the Donna Flows. You will dance, you will have fun, you will listen to great music, and of course these guys. Since 1973 to 1995, I went to this venue and saw a heck of a lot of Jerry and Bobby and Billy and Phil and Mickey, and pick a keyboard player, Keith. I stumbled on Bruce Hornsby and Keith and Donna. Donna singing off key was always hilarious. We had a lot of fun at the Spectrum. Seeing the Grateful Dead, that was a big time. These are some autographs that were scooped up by other friends of mine, my family members. This is from my older brother. This is from my sister Amy, and then from my brother Rick. He got me a Hall of Famer Mike Schmitz autograph on a baseball, and my dad got me the bobblehead, Larry Bowa bobblehead, who we took out drinking after the Phillies won the World Series. Chuck Level, how are you, sir? Fantastic keyboard player. We know him, Southbound Jessica. And he was dynamite on this Highway Call album that I'm getting to in just a few seconds. This is a shot of New Orleans. We were at a New Orleans fest, and we got Amanda Shaw and John Cleary and Kermit and a whole bunch of people to sign this photograph of downtown Bourbon Street. I'm not exactly sure where that is in the quarter, but it's a great shot. And of course, we're all guardians of the groove. Ronnie Earl, the broadcasters at Wolf Trap in D.C. What a great show this was. Oh my goodness. Ronnie Earl. If you haven't heard of him, he's up in the New England area. Fantastic guitar player. Then of course we have Buddy Guy. And the rest of these are sort of self-explanatory. Buddy Guy, and then lots of Tedeschi trucks. This is a great poster. I've got this t-shirt too. It's really nicely done. And they're real good about signing stuff and setting it out at the merch tent. She's a wonderful woman, Effie O'Donovan. Beautiful voice, great writing, good band too. It's a rock folk instead of a folk rock. I'd say it's a rock folk kind of thing. And Effie's a sweetheart, and she's very talented. Of course, more Tedeschi trucks, the Gibson and the Strat, signed by their players. And another Louisiana Bayou Boogaloo Swamp Fest. Sonny Landreth is on here. George Potter's on there. CJ Chenier's on there. All the Iguanas are all signed up. That was fun running around getting those autographs that day. It was a good day. Another singer-songwriter that Jim Morrison turned us on to. He has house concerts in the area. Mark Arelli is a little bit of an inside joke on that one. For a Song. Thank you, Paul and Chris. A really outstanding writer, another great craftsman when it comes to songwriting. One of the best guitar pickers out there in the entire universe, Tony Rice. You know him from Tony Rice Unit. David Grisman, that first fine album that came out with Tony Rice on it. And they had a little benefit for him because he's having some health difficulties. It's a shame too. One of the most phenomenal players in the world, and they've got to raise benefits for him. Colin Hay, Men at Work, but he's out solo on his own now. And just a ton of great music. Another intelligent songwriter with a good sense of humor. Colin was good enough to sign this for us after a show at a local venue down in North Carolina. This was the night before the last Allman Brothers show that we saw. So this is from the show right before they came to Virginia Beach. And we did not get to see them as a band anymore after that. So I was really happy to grab this poster. More Tedeschi trucks. What a great tour this was. Sharon Jones. Fantastic. Doyle Bramall. This was a wonderful little score at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey. Arlo with a sense of humor. For no one instead of for Paul. Arlo Guthrie. If you haven't listened to Arlo Guthrie since Alice's Restaurant, go ahead and get out there and do some exploring. Arlo's got another fine songwriter, singer-songwriter. Beautiful lyrics, great music. And one of his #1 fans, my sister Gina. A little Led Zeppelin. Gotta represent Led Zeppelin and Bonham and the Boys. This is a ticket from one of their shows. A friend of ours gave us this as a gift one year. I thought that was real nice of him. We got Elvin Bishop over here. Elvin Bishop's seminal album, Let It Flow, with Traveling Shoes on it. All kinds of guys from the Capricorn label. Let It Flow was and is, still a philosophy to live by. Let it flow. Take it easy. And of course, one of my favorites, the Marshall Tucker Band. Unheralded. Fantastic musicians. Toy and Tommy Caldwell. George McCorkle. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There is absolutely no question about it. They must have put out 15, 20 albums. They were all over the radio. Can't You See, Take the Highway, Blue Ridge Mountain Sky. This album is fantastic. Where it all began. It's a double album live. And this guy playing the music right now that we're listening to in the background, Mr. Dickie Betts. Here's the kids down at the beach. One of my favorite albums ever, Highway Call. I used it on all my radio shows. It was great to segue in and out of any kind of genre that you wanted to. Jazz to bluegrass to blues and back again. You're a friend of mine, Mr. Gregory Allman with his old Gibson there. I love that old guitar in that picture. Little artwork by your narrator. And we all hated to see Tom Petty go this year too as well. Tom! He didn't write a bad song. There are so many great songs that you've never heard of if you haven't dove into his catalog. Just unbelievable. Tom Petty and Heartbreakers. Just, I can't say enough words about the amazing amount of music that they cranked out. And you may only know a few of the songs or their greatest hits, but let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff out there, including on this album, that's just fantastic, The Last DJ. We got a little Peter Frampton up here. We caught him in a small venue not far from the house. We were lucky enough to get Peter's autograph. Frampton Comes Alive. Yeah, well, it was a good show too. All those classic hits. Island Jewel, she's sort of a Texas singer-songwriter. Sarah Jarosz, she's another singer-songwriter, fantastic. Beautiful voice. Island's got a great band, more of a Texas swing kind of thing going on here. Good stuff. Lots of stories to tell. Rock and roll will save your soul.